Alright guys, yeah, you're back in my little home studio, yeah, some monitors in the background and the audio stuff. I just thought give you a quick recommendation. Yeah, I tried to keep it short today, because recently I was doing this belt, yeah, and I thought it's a tool recommendation for today, and it's regarding the Speedy Stitcher. Yeah, many of you know this little tool and how to use it. There are plenty of videos on the internet how to use it and make use of it, but I can highly recommend that, and that's what I thought making a little video about, just to show you a few little bits of it. To show you a little bit of the inside of my little gravel box. Yeah, it's my stitching box with all the hand tools and scissors, and if you are like me, it's all a bit, well, it's organized but still messy inside. Yeah, bloody scissors and tools and everything gets a bit messed up over time, but have a look. That's the inside of my sewing box. Yeah, so yeah, it looks messy. It is messy, but everything is in there. And what I wanted to show you today is something about the Speedy Stitcher, but it comes actually with a rich amount of accessories as well. Yeah, which you have to order obviously separately. And just wanted to show you a little bit the difference of the needles and the bobbins, and how to put it in, how to use that. There are plenty other videos, so I'm not copying that. And yeah, let's see what we got in here. So, got the Speedy Stitcher. Yeah, I got a few more bobbins which I bought separately, as well as a few more needles, and they come in different lengths and sizes. Yeah, so you may watch out what you're gonna buy. And this is my old trusty traveling stitching kit, which I'm using for, this is a tobacco box. Yeah, as you can see, it's fairly aged now. I use this kit for 45 years. Yeah, believe it or not. And it's a nice little tool, and this is what I use as a old so far, which did a good job. But the Speedy Stitcher definitely convinced me changing over. Well, I'm getting into that. So what you can see, I got plenty different threads in different strengths and colors and messy stuff, needles, and this is a bobbin box for the sewing machine. As you can see, it's quite a different. I don't know if you can see that, but if you got a little bobbin like that, yeah, comparing to the other one, it's tiny. So we're not using that. Going into the bobbins, yeah, maybe put it like that. So the bobbins, they go in here into the back. See how that looks like. Just put that up here a bit. So what we got, I used to use this little owl, how we call that, owl. It's just a wooden tip and a handle, which I cut off from some other tools and just converted this quick spanning thing in it. Look, it's just a short needle. So what I used to do, just poke that through, yeah, some stuff and had a hole, and then I needed a needle, and so I got, depending on situation, I got leather needles with let's put one on this. I don't know if you can see that. This tip, yeah, it's actually like edged. So it's a bit like a triangle tip which cuts the material. This is a specific one for leather, yeah. So but yeah, so I use that just and then stitch it through, yeah. So, but the problem is you never really get an even seam, yeah, because it's all getting off, on and off, and by poking that through any material, it takes some effort, and then you have to push the needles through and using the backside of the and push it through, or using a pliers and pull the needle, yeah. So it's all a bit awkward. It does a good job on the trail if you only want to use a small repair kit, yeah. And yeah, I got all sorts in here, like a punch, hole puncher, yeah, with different tips on it and different needles, even a really chunky needle, yeah, and bottoms and all sorts, yeah. So, but coming back to the Speedy Stitcher, yeah. I recommend you watching some of the videos on how to use that and properly, but I wanted to show you some details about the needles. There are actually, well, there are 3 different sizes of needle or types of needles, yeah. These are the 2 straight needles. One is a bit more 2-inch, it's 5 centimeter in length, a little bit more, and the other one is 4 centimeter in length, yeah, and the larger one is chunkier, yeah. So that means originally the bobbins, they come with a, well, the first bobbin coming with a very thick waxed thread, which is alright for heavy canvas and repair kits on sail ships and stuff, but for little or more delicate work, the thinner needle actually comes in much more handy. It's shorter, but allows for a thinner thread, yeah. I use the Dynamere bowstring for that, because it's very strong. You can already see it's, I use 2 types, really thin one and a bit thicker one, so that's why it's quite handy having different bobbins, yeah, and different needles, and but you have to buy that as spare, yeah. There's a nice little compartment on the inside of this owl, so you can have 2 spare needles. So this is the bent needle, yeah, compared to the straight needle. You can see that against the light, yeah. One is got like a bent edge, yeah, and the other one is straight. So depending on what you're using it for, it's nice having a spare needle in generally, so you can take that out and store that in there, and screw that down, and you're ready to go, yeah. Let's put that in here. So as I say, how to use that, watch some videos on the internet. They're much better than I could explain here. So you got this little compartment in the back, and there's a bobbin, yeah. So I filled that up with the Dynamere and put them in here. There's one curious thing about this bobbin. It doesn't look like it's fixed in the bit, yeah? So actually you could actually make it very slim. It looks like there's only 2 discs stuck on well, center pin, yeah, and that's, I don't know, it's but with this little spike you can actually center it in the bottom of this case, yeah, the handle case, and where the spike actually then centers in and doesn't wobble around for too much. And by twisting this, you see this little 2 flat bits, you can actually then twist that and prevent the thread from getting loose, yeah, and yeah, stays in place. So just to keep it short, try to get yourself a little spare, or just to complete the handle, because the handle doesn't come with a well, only with 1 needle or 2 needles. One is a bent one, one is a straight one, and yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to show you as a sample why this Speedy Stitcher comes in really handy. You see, if you got like when I made this rucksack, yeah, and this is really heavy leather and thick felt in it, yeah, and multiple layers and leather and the whole lot. So I really managed to get in really nicely, yeah, and that's where the long needle is coming in handy, and to get through all the material. And yeah, that helps me actually to make my rucksack. Yeah, I mean, you imagine it's quite a lot of junk to get through there, and I couldn't have done that with that one, yeah, the hand poker, and then taking a needle and poking it through and stuff, yeah. So this is why I thought give you, this is a recommendation, really. I can really, it's proved, it actually convinced me to use this more often, and especially for this heavy work, and even for delicate work on the belt, yeah, like making really small stitches takes much longer, but works quite well. And yeah, if you're into DIY stuff like me, you know, I mean, I did this for always. Actually, the first stitching project I did when I was 5 years old, and an uncle had his birthday, so I made a jacket out of newspaper, yeah, and sewn some buttons on it. I just glued the jacket together, and he tried it on, and it fit him. And actually, it matched his body. And I mean, I just estimated. I mean, I was 5, yeah. So doing this sort of DIY jobs, it's sort of in my blood, and I always did it, and always did anything that's got something to do with making this was something with my hands, yeah. And I got injured myself plenty of times, you know, cut myself and all sorts, but it's part of the job, yeah. So keep tuned, it's only a short one, and see you on the trip. See, the pack is already almost done. Well, it's packed and ready to go, sort of, yeah? Bye-bye.